Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope everyone, Lord have mercy. Welcome to the Vibing with TJ podcast. I'm your host, TJ. I hope everyone is having a great week so far. I hope everyone is having a great start to their Friday. Don't work too hard if you're working. As we head into the weekend, and cheers to the weekend. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I always encourage people, if you want, if not, it don't make no big difference to me. If you want, go back and listen to the previous episodes. We've been doing this, oh man, about almost 7 months now. I'm not even a year in the game yet with this podcast thing. So I always encourage people to go back and listen to the previous episodes for 2023. I feel like they were like a buildup of only on upon each other. I don't know how this year's going to play out. We'll see. Only time and God will let me know. But I feel like at least with last year, they kind of build upon each other. In my humble opinion, that's just me. But if you've been rocking with us for a while, you family. I mean, y'all already know what the heck going on. So I ain't gotta school y'all on nothing. So, yeah. So this episode I wanted to talk about because we're still and before I go on that, let me stop. I hope you guys are like getting adjusted to the new schedule because I know like I'm not doing weekly episodes anymore. And I guess it's kind of leading into this episode of why I decided not to do weekly episodes anymore. Is this episode is called, Show Up Anyway. Um and I'm talking about showing up for yourself. And I guess the main reason why I decided to go bi-weekly, one of the reasons is other reasons too, but I wanted to show up more for myself this year in a I ain't gonna say in a different way. Well, it is a different way, but I'll say I wanted to show up for myself in a way that I've never showed up for myself before. I wanted to show up for myself 1,000%. I want to do every single thing that I want to do. And I don't want nothing interfering with it. So that means some things had to be cut, some things had to be sacrificed, some people had to be sacrificed. I cut some people off. Some people had to be sacrificed, you know, because they wasn't serving my peace. They wasn't giving me the type of support I was giving them. And I didn't want that to drain me anymore because I can't show it for myself if I'm being drained by people that's not supportive and don't love me the way that I love them, you know? Um, because I've had a habit of very bad habit of putting other people's needs, emotions, priorities before my own. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. Don't do it. Bad habit. And in the end, like I said, I was giving myself scraps or nothing at all. And I wasn't getting it back. Like I was raised with the notion that treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think that's kind of a universal thing. Like it can be taken in a lot of different ways. So if I'm pouring into you, I want you to pour back into me too. It should be a mutual thing. It should not always be me pouring into that person and I don't get anything back. And it's not selfish to expect something back when you're in uh like a relationship. And I'm not talking about a romantic relationship. A relationship with someone is not wrong to expect to get some type of level support back. It doesn't have to look the same that I give it to you because everybody's love language is different. Everybody has different needs, different wants, all that good stuff. But it should feel the same. It should feel the same. And if he ain't getting it back, what's the point? What's the point in this relationship? What am I holding on to this for? It's one sided, you know? But not to go off on the tangent or anything of that nature, but I wanted to show up for myself, like I said, in a way that I've never shown up for myself before. And I had to realize that by doing that, yeah, I had to make some sacrifices. One was going bi-weekly on the show, cutting people off. And also I had to break some bad habits. You know, I had to realize, ooh, excuse me, some of the bad habits that I had when it comes to showing up for myself. And then I had to try to start overcoming and breaking them. And I'm in the process of this. This is going to be a ongoing thing. This is going to be the mood for 2024, I guess, for lack of a better words. But I've noticed in the past, and I guess, you know, not to get into another story time, but I've had a habit of letting my circumstances um dictate how I show up for myself. Um I know in the past, like, and I hate to bring up old relationships, but oh Lord, this was about 10, 12 years ago at this point. I had a bad breakup, and at that time I was trying to get into like running a marathon. Uh because I really wanted to run a marathon. I wanted to do a 5K. And I don't know, and not to go off on another tangent here, but for the longest time I thought a 5K meant 5 miles. I still got a little cough, I'm sorry, but I thought a 5K was 5 miles. It's not. I had to learn. But I was practicing on my own, trying to run for a marathon, and anybody that really knows me knows that I hate running. I do. But that was something that I don't know, I wanted to overcome and kinda grow a love for it. I don't know, that was just the mindset I was in at the time because 'cause I'm like, running isn't bad. It's not. It's actually very soothing. It's a good workout, good full body workout. It's good meditation to think. It helps with a lot of things. So I wanted to come overcome that hatred because I'm like, where did this even come from? I don't even know where the hate of running came from. Anyway, so I was training for a marathon and I went through a very, very bad breakup. And at that point, I think I had been training, oh my God, for a while, maybe about 6, 8 months, honestly. I had gotten to a good place. I had gotten to a place where I could run 5 miles, because at the time I thought it was 5K, 5 miles. I could run 5 miles in about good 45, 50 minutes. Granted, I was a lot younger too, just about, 12 years ago. Uh, I could do that in about 45, 50 minutes. Which I don't know if that's good or bad. I thought that was great for me. I'm like, yo, I'm doing it. And this is continuously running, not no stop it, nothing like that. I could run for 45 minutes straight. Yeah, on the pavement. I can't do that now. But and I had a bad breakup and I stopped training. I think I can't say for sure, so I'm doing a guesstimate. The marathon was maybe I hadn't even signed up for it yet. Maybe about a good 3 months away, some to of that nature. And I stopped because I let my circumstances of this bad breakup, influence what I was gonna do, how I was gonna show up, because I had how I was gonna show up for myself. I had made a promise that I was gonna train for this marathon because it was something that I always wanted to do, and I let my circumstances, dictate how I was gonna show up for myself. I stopped showing up, I stopped running, I stopped working out, um, I stopped doing a whole lot of things that was great, bringing me some level of peace, and a lot of people would probably say, "Well, you was going through a tough time. You was going through a hard time." That's understandable. Actually, no, it's not understandable because and I guess, like, I don't wanna be biblical, but you're supposed to pray in the good and the bad times. You're supposed to pray just as hard in the good as you are in the bad. You don't let your circumstances dictate. You shouldn't let your circumstances dictate how hard you pray. So I shouldn't let my circumstances dictate me showing up for myself. If anything, in the bad times, I should have been showing up just as much as I was showing up in the good times, you know? Because that was going to keep me at a level of serenity, a level of peace. It was going to keep me somewhat level help help my emotions stay in check, you know? And that was a hard lesson learned because I was so disappointed in myself. I was like, I look back on it today and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, yeah, it was a bad breakup, but it wasn't the end of the world. Yeah, it wasn't the end of the world. I let circumstances dictate how I show up for myself. And that was a very, very hard lesson to learn. Uh and it's something that I have to learn. Like I said, I'm to this day I have to watch myself with that because I can't let things that's going around me or happening around me affect how I'm going to show up for myself, because it says in the Bible you're going to have trials and tribulations. So anybody thinking that you're going to live this perfect life, you're not going to have any problems, or especially if you're thinking money is going to solve your problems. Like I say all the time, my mentor told me another level, another devil. You're just going to be dealing with a different set of trials and tribulations with when that money comes. So you got to keep going. Circumstances should never ever dictate how you show up for yourself. Show up for yourself just as hard in the bad as you're doing the good. If anything, I probably show up more in the good, and in the bad, it just comes kind of like it just regulates out, if that makes sense. Because I'm pushing off that momentum I'm having in the good. Everything going right now. And everything is an ebb and flow. Everything that goes up must come down, they gotta go back up. It's an ebb and flow. So I'm pushing off that momentum. I'm showing up super hard. Just like you say when you pray even more in the good times. You building off that momentum in the good times because you stacking up the reserves for because ebb and flow. It's something gonna happen. It says in the Bible you're gonna have trials and tribulations, right? It's not gonna last always. It's not gonna last forever. The storm is going to pass. But you got that storage. You got that momentum to kinda carry you through. You can just kinda like you can still go and just kinda coast through it. So that's what I shoulda did. I should have been, you know, extra, extra hard, and then you just do some, keep going, but I don't have to go as hard because I got that extra storage in the back. And I know I'm using a metaphor, but I got that momentum carrying me through. And that's a lesson that I got to keep, I have to keep in my mind now because I want to, like I said, I'm want to show up for myself in a way that I've never had before. And I know without a shadow of doubt, things gonna be coming my way left and right because I'm trying to have tunnel vision about what I want for myself and how I want my life to look as this year in 2024 progresses. You know, when things get hard, show up. When things are easy, show up 1,000%. You know, do not let life deter you from what you want, need, or desire to do. If somebody leaves, great, still get up. If you have a breakup, great, still get up. If you lose your job, great, still get up. If I don't know, you lose all your money, great, still get up. Money comes back. Money is a commodity. It comes back. Yeah, it comes back to you. I promise you, it will. You lose your money today, you can be a millionaire today and it broke tomorrow, or broke today and a millionaire tomorrow. I've seen it happen plenty of times. People win the lottery. I've seen it happen plenty of times. You get up. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. It's gonna be all right. You know, just show up for yourself. Whatever you do, if you make a promise to yourself this year, because I know everybody came in with New Year's resolutions this year. Hell, I did too. It's I guess is a nature of the game, with the new year coming in. Make sure you show up for them when resolutions, when it gets hard, when it's easy, when you're hurt, when you're sad. If you have a parent that passes away, God forbid, you lose a relationship, you lose a friendship, you know, show up. Keep that promise to yourself. That's the best thing that you'll ever do. If you want to build your confidence, do the things that you said you're going to do. That's the easiest yet the hardest way for some people to build for, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people to build their confidence. People think that I have to look a certain way or dress a certain way to build confidence. No, it's the craziest thing. The easiest way to build your confidence is to show up for yourself. Keep the promises that you made to yourself. I promise you. Like if you do that, nobody can tell you nothing. They tell me nothing. Keep the promises that you made to yourself. You want to build that confidence. All right. Look, let's get up out of here. Let me get up out of here because I could probably go on about this. But anyway, I want you guys to uh and this is for me too. Because I'm making a promise to myself that I'm gonna show up for myself 1,000% all 2024. Show up for yourself. I mean, even if it's just you don't have to do 1,000% like me. If you just gonna do 100%, 50%, if it's more than what it was previously, you made some improvement. Don't beat up on yourself because it don't look like someone else's or whatever. Excuse me, whatever the case may be. As long as it works for you and it makes you feel good and you can handle it. And that's another key. You can handle it. Don't put more on yourself than you can handle. Never do that. Don't overload yourself. But show up for yourself. If it's only 5%, if it's more than what it was, if you weren't showing for yourself at all like me, like I was, if it's only 5%, trust me, you done made a improvement. Always give yourself some grace. If you only just made 1% improvement, always give yourself some grace that you're doing better. Well, you know how much 1% can add up? It's 365 days in a year. If you just do 1% every day, you're 365% better at the end of the year. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you can double that the next year. Don't beat up on yourself. So I want you guys to have a great rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the weekend. And we're gonna go from there. I'll see you guys back. Not next week, the week after next, since we're bi-weekly now. But peace out. Have a good one, you guys.